If you made it to this video, you probably saw my last video, which was a little more budget, if you will, where we take this thing apart and do a quick little modification to give it a lot more usefulness. And I'm about to demo to you what that sounds like. Let's get to it.
If you made it this far, welcome to the Q Show. Gonna learn a thing, it's probably in the title.
How am I recording it? And with pedals, maybe it's less of a concern, but what I do always is I'll run my amp of choice into this guy, which I then run with no EQ into my interface, and I apply a cabinet in post. I personally feel that's going to give me the most accurate representation of the sounds of anything I'm recording in the space I have available. I would say here's my clean tone, but that is the tone A. All right. Alright, so the amp's clean tone is pretty neutral. My understanding is this amp's kind of a riff on a champ a little bit. Not quite sure what the preamp tube is doing, but I can't really seem to do anything that helps it get hit harder, rather. So it's just kind of doing its thing. This is all power tube spanking. My friend wanted this to run a lot cleaner, and it was originally very much in like champ vibes, except biased way too hot, so all the squishing high end in a way that made it almost unusable. So off we go. I'll try and just kind of mess with these and give you a quick here's the rundown. On this particular one, the treble knob is, even after all these fixes, I personally would probably just leave it like that. Full tilt. The EQ does work, but I struggle to see it as super useful. I personally would probably just slap an EQ in the effects loop. But let's give it a quick rundown. So my mic's about to get all messed up. So what I'm gonna do is play some notes, mess with the knobs a little bit, and I think it's gonna be enough to give you an idea of what's happening there. Moving on, we got some circuits here. I feel like this is where most of the solid state stuff went to. Definitely some clipping action. Let's go. Moving on to our extra boosted, something sort of scooped. But of course, scoop those mids. You are All right, that's enough of that. Let's focus more on what we kind of rebuilt it to do best, which is clean stuff. Let's go. And all right, so talked about our EQ a little bit. Went over those basic features. I don't feel like it brings much to the table beyond its tube architecture personally, especially after this tube swap. It kind of makes it really clean and open, which is what was wanted. I think this is a better version than what he got originally for sure. Saturating the power tubes without some sort of attenuator, I personally don't feel in most bedroom or even some recording settings is very realistic. So that's one of the benefits of recording with this thing. So we're just gonna crank this up. Here's some of that tube grit that we now get with our S6V6S JJ tubes, which is gonna be markedly less gritty than before. All right, so does the thing, and that is spanking the tubes full tilt. With my bridge pickup. All right, cool stuff. I feel this is a damn cool amp. But before I go, I do want to kind of try it with like maybe one pedal just to see how well it takes, like, you know, a tube screamer, since it's a pedal that mostly relies on tubes. I can already hear you talking about how it's technically not a preamp tube, but I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that and move on with this video. Now you might be thinking, but this isn't actually a tube screamer, and you would be wrong. So take that. I have this wire back. All right, we got our clean. Let's hit it with something. Maybe I could just not give it back to him. And there you have it. And there you have it. Thanks for watching. What did you think? Would you even consider buying one of these? They're like under 200 all day, brand new when they do come up. It's a pretty quirky amp. Interestingly, the company dates back to like some of the first amp companies ever. And now it's doing a Chinese thing. Now it's like some weird knockoff tube company. Weird. Did you dig the sound? I thought it sounded pretty great through this. What did you guys think? Would you consider this if you needed a tube sound at a lower price? Did my friend and I totally miss the mark on the types of modifications we made to this? I think some people may feel that way. Let me know what you think down there in those comments. And if you liked anything about this or anything I've done, please like, share, and subscribe. I would like to thank my patron. And that's all for today. And thank you so much for watching.